coming to an end, and you feel like time has been rushed too fast, and yet you're yet to achieve. But guys, go easy on yourselves, man. It has been a crazy, rough time for the entire world, and of course, you cannot put too much pressure on yourself. Whatever you've done so far, it's what you are able to do, and you are able to do it well. The fact that you're still here, you're still breathing, you're still doing your thing, man, pat yourself on the back because you are doing absolutely great. Of course, I'm going to leave you or start you off with a nice quote by Napoleon Hill that says, "Great achievement is usually born of great sacrifice and is never the result of selfishness." So, whatever you do, if you're doing it and you're doing it to achieve something in a selfless way, you'll be able to achieve quite a lot. So don't be hard on yourself. Pick that chin up. Let yourself know that you are doing your best, you are going about it in the right way, and that you are indeed that person. Now, this particular month, we are observing Suicide Prevention Month. We're going to be going into that topic later on today as we get into our Wellness Wednesday. And we're going to be looking at tips on how to look out for somebody who might have those suicidal feelings, suicidal thoughts, how exactly to pinpoint when they start to have those feelings, when they start to have those thoughts, when they start to express them, and how best to reach out to them and help them without, of course, putting in your 2 cents or taking them to the bar and telling them everything's going to be all right, have a drink. No, but actually trying to give them the help or seeking help that they may need. So let's get back into that later on in the show. But for now, let's take a look at the weather as it stands right now. When you take a look at Nairobi, it stands at 15 degrees Celsius, mostly cloudy. It looks like it's going to be quite a hot day for most of the day. It's been hot for the last few days. Maybe it's preparing us for things to come. I don't know. If we look at Mombasa, it's at 24 degrees, partly sunny. Also looking like it's going to be quite a sunny day. For Mombasa, up to highs of 31 degrees. So if you have a loose day or a director's day off on this happy day, be sure to, of course, just pass by the beach and just relax. Take that time off and just reflect and chill, then go back to the grind tomorrow. If you are in Kisumu, it's currently at 23 degrees, mostly sunny. It looks like it's going to be a mostly sunny day with up to highs of 29 degrees. No matter where you are, no matter the weather, you'll always have a great day with Icon Radio. Let us get back into the music. When we come back, we'll be looking at the news, making the headlines this morning, including the mother of the mysterious teenage girl who was found to have rookered fence at Eric Maigo's house. We'll be finding out what she had to say about that fateful day. Keep it right here on the Breakfast Jam. Let's get into your throwback therapy. This is the Breakfast Jam, and we're all about getting you through that hump day. Of course, hump day doesn't mean what you think it means. Hey, it's sometimes good to refer to Google. It actually means, the plateau. When you pick up over there, at the top of the plateau of your day, of your week, and then now it starts to teremka again. Okay, so we are here to get you through your hump day, through your midweek madness. We're here to tell you the news as of now. Now, this Eric Maigo case has just become, like in the words of Dr. Seuss, curiouser and curiouser. It has sparked a lot of conversation. It's sparked a lot of, a lot from the Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, FBI, and DCIs. And of course, everybody is coming up with their own theories as to what exactly happened in this particular case. And in this one, for a teenager who was now found to be the one who was in that house, who was wearing those clothes. And the mother now spoke out yesterday, and she's saying her child is innocent. Now, the mother of Anne Adhiambo, the teenager linked to the murder of Nairobi Hospital Finance Director Eric Maigo, has come forward to defend her daughter's innocence. In an interview with the press in Bobolulu, Kibra, Doreen Nyawira expressed her belief that her daughter was not involved in the alleged slaying of this man. Now, a lot of questions have been raised in the particular happenings of what happened that particular fateful day. And of course, what could have led to what happened that night. Now, she gave a little bit of an insight of what happened when she went home. And that is now Anna Dhiambo. Now, while Nyawira did not disclose her daughter's current whereabouts, she hinted that Anne might be hiding within the vicinity, possibly with one of their neighbors. She also shed light on the events leading up to the incident. According to her, Anne, who recently completed Class 8, left home on a Thursday night around 11 p.m. While her mother was sleeping. So she said mtoto alitoka kigafla kama tumeshalala. Usiku saa 5, saa 6 alienda na akarudi na mabayo ambayo hatuelewi. Ukimuuliza anasema walikuwa wasichana watatu. Now, she returned home the following day bearing visible bruises. The mom continues to narrate, kuamkia Friday nilikuta mtoto ana maalama, akona madents, tukapata story kwa news ati mtoto ameua. Tukamuuliza akashtuka. Mtoto akasema tusiseme zaidi hadi leo hii sijui ako wapi. Now, excuse my bad Kiswahili, but you get the point. Now, when she inquired about the injuries, Anne purportedly revealed that she had been involved in a fight with 2 unidentified men, but was unwilling to divulge further details. The revelation followed the circulation of disturbing photos of her daughter online. Doreen Nyawira, known as in Kibra community as Mama Fua, due to her work washing clothes for a living, disclosed that her daughter had gone out that fateful day with 2 other young ladies whose whereabouts remain unknown. Meanwhile, in a separate development, Nairobi court has today released a suspect arrested last week in connection with the murder of Maigo. The release came after the police cited lack of evidence to frame her. Now, going along, all right, hold on. So it goes on to say also, Maigo had met Cynthia Ndalo at a recently opened club along Ngong Road in Kilimani. I think we all know which club that is. It has had a lot of stories coming out of it, and so, since they're all alleged, I will not divulge them here. But if you're out there and you have friends who are out there, you will be hearing a lot of stories, or rather have heard a lot of stories circulating that particular club. But of course, it's not the club that is of question, is the people who are in it and what they are there to do, what motives they may have. Now, it would come, as of today morning, it would seem that This particular young girl has been arrested. Now, the main suspect in the murder of Nairobi Hospital Acting Finance Director Eric Mego has been arrested. The suspect, a teenage girl between the age of 15 and 17 years old, was arrested in the Kibra slums after an operation conducted by detectives drawn from the DCI. She was taken to Muthaiga police station and later transferred to Kilimani police station, where she is currently being held. Now, the teenager who had been on the run for a week is the main suspect in the murder of Eric Maigo, who was stabbed 25 times on Friday, September 15th. CCTV footage emerged of the suspect escaping from Maigo's residence at Woodley Annex, Nairobi. DCI detectives posted screenshots of the CCTV footage on their social media pages, urging Kenyans to assist in tracing the suspect. Now, another woman who was also accused of being involved in the murder was arrested in Kibra last week. She was arraigned at Milimani Law Courts on Monday and was released after the detectives failed to provide evidence linking her to the crime. Now, it is something that again is still developing. Of course, you now hear from the mom that she was shocked to hear the news. She was shocked to hear that she was the one who was being implicated and her image was being spread around. And of course, she is also bearing visible wounds. And there's a lot that could be told about this story. There's still a lot to learn from this story. Nobody knows as yet. So hopefully the DCI will be able to give us a report sooner rather than later. Now, lastly on this story, the CEO of Nairobi Hospital reveals the last moments with slain director Eric Maigo. Now, appearing on TV, Nyamongo noted that he was shocked to learn the death of the accountant barely 12 hours after they had interacted at a board meeting. He noted that he learned of his demise on September 15th after spending time at the meeting on September 14th. He said, "I was the last person on that Thursday, September 14th, and I interacted with him during the board's finance and investment committee. He made a very good presentation. Then we were to meet the following day, but he never showed up. It was disheartening to come to work the following day and find out he was no more. I was with him about 12 hours ago." Nyamongo further eulogized Maigo as a dependable employee who was ethical in his dealings, noting that the entire hospital had been impacted by his death. Now, the main suspect, of course, has been tracked down, has been arrested, is in police custody, and of course, everybody is waiting just to hear what exactly happened that night. Well, let's go into the break. When we come back, we'll be looking at more news making the headlines this morning, including a Busia MCA who's been charged with defiling a 14-year-old. More stories on that and more coming up next. Right, we're still here on the Breakfast Jam. We're all about your throwback therapy. That was P Unit featuring Mimo. If there are two people who need to come back, it's those two with the song Kare. Of course, just make a come back and do that song on stage. Man, that was such a dope song that still carries on through the ages. It's karaoke, it's even better. So you know me, I'm the karaoke queen. Love a good session. Of course, that one is a good song to do. Just trust me on that one. Guys, we're going on and finishing off with the news this particular morning. And it would seem that fuel spike has affected almost everyone in the world. Literally, it's been a problem. Now, it would seem that Ugandan government officials benchmark with EPRA amid fuel price hike. Now, a team from the Ugandan government on Tuesday arrived in Kenya to benchmark the Energy and Petroleum Authority. In a statement, EPRA noted that the team was in the country to study the authority's energy diversification strategy. The officials were received by EPRA Director General Daniel Kipto Bargoria at the authority's head office in Upper Hill. Now, it would seem that this is a problem that's impacting everyone in the world. And now this team is trying to see how exactly to curb the extreme rise of it. Now the visit comes at a time when Kenyans are reeling over an increase in fuel prices, hitting an all-time high retail rate. Now, according to September prices review, the cost of petrol increased to 211.64 per liter. Diesel was at 200.99 per liter, and kerosene to 202.61 per liter. Now, leaders allied to the ruling United Democratic Alliance regime estimated the fuel price for petrol will continually rise on a month-to-month basis and expected to hit 260 per liter. Now, in comparison, a liter of petrol retails at 222 in Uganda, while diesel retails at an average of 191. As a result of the spike, lawmakers within the neighboring country have been clashing over the high cost of living. So, Kenyans don't think it's a problem you have by yourself. It's a world problem. Whether they're here in the Americas, everybody's experiencing the surge in prices of petroleum. Now, this also impacted countries like Tanzania. And this Ugandan visit comes 2 months after the Tanzanian equivalent of EPRA. They're called IWURA, that's the Tanzanian Energy and Water Utilities Regulatory Authority, carried out a benchmark of its own. The rise was occasioned by the dollar shortage as well as inadequate fuel stocks, which led to power importation capacity, to a similar predicament to one Kenya finds itself in. So again, guys, it's a world problem, as Moses Kuria put it, but he didn't put it too well. But he did put it out regardless and said, it is thick outside there and it is a world problem. So guys, no matter where you go, just, hang tight, tighten your belts, and find an alternative to actually the diesel, as people have now found use of petrol. People now have returned back to trying to use diesel in their cars, trying to use gas. Guys are walking around with gas cylinders, like, where? Life has been tough. But this brings about the conversation yet again of alternative sources of energy. What are alternative sources of energy? People have now turned to electric-powered cars. Hopefully, solar energy will also kick in an alternative source of energy. Some people are also using solar energy for their farms to power up their homes. Some people are using fertilizer. There's a man who is powering up his entire farm. That's his home, his car, and his livestock, his plants, all from chicken manure. Like, he collects chicken poop, converts it into energy, and uses it for everything, including his car. And I think this is the innovation we're trying to get into now. We're trying to find a place where we can actually now find alternative sources of energy to be able to survive, because things have become really expensive worldwide. Prices of fuel have hiked, prices of electricity everywhere, even in Americas, Europe, also have hiked. So don't think this is a Kenya problem. It's a worldwide problem. So how do we combat it together? That's why I liked things like the Africa Climate Summit that help us realize how better to utilize what we have within our means to actually improve our lives and just be, in the cleaner side, because of course these things that we've been using are both harming our environment and also have become too expensive. So if you do have an alternative means you're using yourself, I would love to know on +254 788 3800 30. Be sure to hit us up and share with us. I'd love to hear from you. Now, finally, we're finishing off with some sad news coming out of Bunyala Busia. Now, Bunyala MCA Carl Benz Okonya was on Tuesday, September 26th, arraigned and charged with defiling a 14-year-old minor. Now, the MCA was arraigned before the Busia Chief Magistrate, Edna Nyaloti, pleaded not guilty and will remain in custody pending determination of the matter. Now, according to the ODPP, a member of the Busia County Assembly was today arraigned before the Busia Chief Magistrate, Honorable Edna Nyaloti, for defiling a 14-year-old. Now, during the proceedings, the prosecution made an application to oppose bail and bond and request the hearing be deferred for 14 days. Now, according to the prosecution, the 2 weeks will allow the Witness Protection Agency to assess and place the victim and her family under protection, even as investigations continue. However, the Bunyala West MCA pleaded not guilty to the charges. The MCA will remain in custody pending a ruling on the prosecution application to be delivered on September 28th, 2023, where the court will give a verdict on whether to hand the suspect a bail, a bond, or neither of the two. Now, I'm telling you, man, anything that has to deal with children, these people should be locked up and the key thrown away. That is if indeed the act did happen. If it did happen, man, enjoy your 14-day vacation in jail, my friend. If it didn't, then truth will prevail. But it is absolutely saddening to continue hearing rising cases of people who just go after children. Like, can you, again, as I always say on my rock show, keep your hands to yourself? If you can't love on yourself, then just keep to yourself. It's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. Especially if you have a child, you should know that this is a problem. Guys, let's go on a break. We'll also have the news at 9 a.m. When we come back. We'll be getting into suicide prevention right here on the Breakfast Jam.
Good morning, avid listeners, and welcome to Icon Radio News at 9. My name is Alens Livingston. Starting us off, the main suspect in the murder of Nairobi Hospital Acting Finance Director Eric Maigo has been arrested. Anne Adhiambo Akinyi, who has been on the run since last week Thursday, was arrested in Kibra in an intelligence-led operation by DCI detectives. She is currently being held at the Muthaiga police station awaiting transfer to Kilimani police station that is handling the matter. Another suspect, Cynthia Andalo, was previously arrested in connection with the murder. She was however freed by court after the prosecution said that they had no evidence. In other news, Tulo Oil Company has announced the commencement of the commercial exploration stage, which will see Kenya extract and export high standard crude oil for a minimum of 25 years. This even as the Senate is already investigating circumstances under which two batches of crude oil were extracted and sold abroad during the initial phase of the exploration, meant for analysis and appraisal. The multinational oil and gas exploration company located in Turkana County, which ventured into oil exploration in Kenya in 2012, says the commercial viability extraction phase will see Kenya extract and export a minimum of 120,000 barrels of crude oil to both regional and global refineries. Michael Jackson's hat, which he wore just before performing his signature moonwalk dance for the first time, sold at an auction in Paris on Tuesday for 77,640 euros, approximately 12.14 million Kenya shillings. It was the highlight among around 200 items of rock memorabilia. Though the top price went to a guitar owned by the legendary bluesman T-Bone Walker at 129,400 euros. In other news, Jeff Bezos' space tourism and rocket company is replacing its chief executive officer with a long-time Amazon executive. The current Blue Origin CEO Bob Smith, a former Honeywell executive who took over the role in 2017, will step down and make way for Dave Limp, the senior vice president of devices and services at Amazon. A spokesperson for Blue Origin said in a statement on Monday. Limp's first day will be Deck 4th, according to the company. However, Smith will stay on through January 2nd to ensure a smooth transition. That is it for Icon Radio News at 9. Keep tuned to your number one entertainment plug. My name is Alens Livingston.
Man, like I tell you, it's been a crazy year. It's been a crazy year. I just got a call that has shook me to the core. Like, guys are really going through it, and um, it is Suicide Prevention Month. And people are always encouraged to always check on their person. Always, even if they're not your person, always just find out how the next person is doing. I did that with two friends yesterday. I didn't take in a lot. Those friends, when you become older, and I was being told this just the other day, as you get older, you tend to now become busy, you drift away from your people here and there, and you tend to lose touch. But losing touch doesn't mean that you cannot check out on your person. Even if you just send a message, even if you just send a voice note, it takes a lot. Do a call or whatever. Just even if you don't meet up physically, just check up on them. You never know what somebody is going through. Not everybody will verbally talk about it. Not everybody will be able to express themselves. Guys are going through a lot. A lot. And it's prudent of you to always just try, even if you're going through your own problems. Yeah, yours might be minuscule compared to the next person. Yeah, you might find it's a mountain, and it's actually a molehill compared to the next person. Now, September is the suicide prevention month, and it has been observed for the last few years. And of course, it is an important time to actually just give a lot of sensitization to this particular topic. Suicide has risen over the past few years, especially one area that's never really addressed: the boy child. The rising numbers of suicide cases, especially within our males in our society, let alone in the world. Let's talk about here in Kenya, within our communities, the numbers are rising. And now it's even gotten worse. Kids. Kids are now taking their own lives. Within the last month alone, I think I've seen about 4 or 5 cases reported. It's been absolutely difficult, and you never know what somebody's thinking, what they're going through. You might see a smile on their face, thinking that they're going okay, they're doing okay, they're navigating through life in a normal fashion, but they might be going through a lot of stress, whether it's at school, at home, at work. And it's always good to just find out and just ask the question, how are you doing? It can do a lot for anyone. Me, I know it does a lot for me. You start asking me how I'm doing, I pour it all out, and then, yes, I'm that kind of person. But it feels good when you're asked, what is going on with you? Now, suicide is a major public health problem with far-reaching social, emotional, and economic consequences. It is estimated that there are currently more than 700,000 suicides per year worldwide. And we know that each suicide profoundly affects many more people. Now, this year, it's all about, in between, rather 2021 and 2023, it's all about creating hope through action. I like that. Creating hope through action. Now, this theme serves as a powerful call to action and reminder that there are alternatives to suicide, and that through our actions we can encourage hope and strengthen prevention. This is according to the WHO. Now, by creating hope through action, we can signal to people experiencing suicidal thoughts that there is hope and that we care and want to support them. It also suggests that our actions, no matter how big or small, will provide hope to those who are struggling. Lastly, it serves as a reminder that suicide prevention is a public health priority, and urgent action is required to make sure suicide mortality rates are reduced. Now, we should continue to be able to raise awareness on this. Whether you're an organization or an individual, somebody who has been impacted in one way or another by either suicidal thoughts, suicidal tendencies, or somebody has taken their own life and they are close to you, it is time to rise up and put in some action. Now, we're going to take a short break. When we come back, we're going to be looking at the stigmatization, how to raise awareness, and how to identify a person who has been battling with thoughts of suicide and how to help them. Keep it right here on a Suicide Prevention Day at Icon Radio. You are listening to Host and Wine by Charlie Black as we could continue to try and wine in our seats as we go through this Dancehall Wednesday. Of course, we are always about giving you that, preppy, nice feeling while you go through your hump day. Now, today is all about suicide prevention as we continue to observe the Suicide Prevention Month. And we are talking about the theme this year, which is all about a call to action. And a call to action meaning how best to impact the person around you, to impact the people around you in ways that they are able to combat suicidal thoughts and actions. So it's called, the theme this time is called Creating Hope Through Action, and that's the theme from 2021 to 2023, and serves as a powerful call to action and reminder that there is an alternative to suicide, and that through our actions we can encourage hope and strengthen prevention. Now the question is always, how did I not see this coming? Why did they not say something? Why did they keep quiet? Why did they not tell me that they were going through these thoughts, through these feelings that would have helped them? They probably did come to you. And because maybe you're going through your own problems, you are just like, usijali, all of us are going through it, but tutakuwa sawa. Ama they did come to you and you're like, usijali, come, let me buy you one. And we talk. And of course, getting drunk or getting inebriated or getting high never really solves the problem. It only just puts like a small bandage on the wound temporarily. Makes you forget about your problems for a few hours. You go on your bender, you go on your spree, and then you go back right to your problems. Now, the question is always, how do I identify a problem in a person, or that they might be harboring suicidal thoughts, suicide intentions, that they might not be going through it too well in life? Now, the tips and warning signs to look out for are if they talk about attempting suicide. Some people do voice. Some people do go out there and say, these are the thoughts I'm having in my head. I don't feel like being in this life anymore. I've done what I needed to do. I am done. And again, don't be that person. Don't be that guy who says you do it. Just jump off the ledge. Just take your pills. We will bury you and move on with life. Don't be that person. This person is looking for your attention, looking for your help. If you don't have a kind word to say, don't say anything at all. And if you can, point them in the right direction or be that ear. The other thing is if they say they've been thinking about suicide. Again, they are voicing it, they are telling you. Take the privilege that they've been able to tell you. A lot of people don't talk about it. They plan, they go ahead with it, and they never say anything. So if they have told you, then it's something that you should take seriously and try to help them navigate if you can. And if you can't, then point them into the right direction, to the right experts, and into the right resources that can help them. Now, before I proceed, this is a trigger warning to whoever is listening. If indeed this topic is too triggering for you, you can have the option of logging off for now. But if it's not, let's continue to have this conversation because it is indeed important. Now, the other thing is if they start preparing, collecting pills or weapons. Now, there are those people who actually do start putting things around themselves. Yesterday we saw, and unfortunately I think this is a warning, Britney Spears dancing around with knives. She has a fascination with knives. Apparently she sleeps with a knife under her pillow. These could be signs that we are ignoring. They're right in front of our faces. We see it happening. Somebody has a fascination for pills, has a whole cabinet full, or is fascinated by different crude things, crude weapons, and you never know why. Always ask questions. Never be afraid to ask. The least they can tell you is, go away. Whatever off. Don't talk to me. But at least you've asked, at least you're trying to find out. And if indeed you need to persist until you get it out of that person. Lastly, if they write a lot about dying or death. Again, there are always those signs that are right in front of us. That person who is always like on social media and is always talking about death, glorifying it, talking about meeting their maker, what it would be like to be at peace. If they do again express themselves, don't ignore it. Actually reach out to them. Tell them, is it something you're going through? Is it something that you'd like to talk about? Talk about it with me. I am here. I am your ear. I am there to help you. And if I can't, again, I'll point you in the right direction. Now, guys, there are resources that actually are there to help people navigate through their problems. And if they're not, if you're a person who's not going through it, you can point the next person in the right direction. Did you know that Kenya Red Cross actually has a 24/7 free on-call counseling service? And you can call them for free on toll number 1199. Also, there is Niskize. It's a hotline available 24 hours a day. And they also have a toll-free number that is 0900 620 800. That is 0900 620 800. We also have Mambo Akili, who you can find on all social media platforms at Mambo Akili. Guys, do not suffer in silence. Life is all about hope and resilience. Keep your head up, keep your chin up, and if you need to talk to anybody, reach out to someone. If ever you need to talk to anybody that you don't know and you'd like to reach out to us anonymously, please don't hesitate to reach out to us on +254 788 380030. You can also hit me up on my personal socials. That's at Nyara Fox on Instagram, Maloba on Twitter, and let us connect. I have no problem in trying to listen to you. I have no problem in pointing you in the right direction. Whatever I can do to help, I am willing to help. Just don't suffer in silence and don't suffer alone. On that note, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. I do have to make way for our next host. That is Uncle R, who is coming on to base. That's between 10 a.m. to 12 noon. He does have a special guest on due season. I see his fans already flooding up our socials. So if you want to take a listen into this particular conversation, into this interview, into learning about this special artist, be sure to tune in. He'll also be delving deeper into our community and ways that we can be impactful in whatever we do. Stand by for that, as well as Ital Groove with one and only Flozz Munyiri, the reggae nerd. Like, let me tell you, if there's one person who is international in this station, it has to be Flozz. And she brings together the whole of reggae nation with her interviews, and I absolutely love it. I'm absolutely looking forward to this particular one today that's going to be coming all the way from Jamaica itself. She is going to be hosting Ras Zakarai. Am I saying that right? Ras Zakarai. Love it. Absolutely love it. He's going to be the guest on the show. And of course, amazing top tier reggae music. I absolutely love her show, not only because of the conversations, but also the music. So you have to tune in today from 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. of just pure reggae goodness. Then tonight is going to be The Surge with myself, Hugh Skills, and Skylar Lorena. We're going to be hosting also international artists from the US. That is Recurrence. They have their new album, their debut album out. Go check them out on their socials. Me and Skylar have actually debuted on their music video, Dig Your Own Grave. Go check it out. They're melodic hard metal band. So if you're all about that rockin' vibe, check them out. And of course, support all rock music from Kenya to the world. Guys, we'll catch you again tomorrow. Have a fantastic day ahead. Enjoy your hump day. Enjoy amazing entertainment and conversations, as well as music, right here on Icon Radio on www.iconradio.co.ke. Until then, stay safe. Peace.